Did you get in?
I'm in.
Excellent.
Hope it won't lag.
Alright, let's find out. Here we go. It is a best of one winners bracket final between Autonoob and Slaternoob.
This is honestly one of the most interesting 1v1 50-kilometer MapGen maps I've ever seen.
Whoa, did Farms just say something good about a map?
I mean,
Let's
the
all sit
thing is,
down.
the others are good maps. It's just that it becomes repetitive. So at some point, even though at first they are good maps, if you've seen the same map 50 times, you're like, well, it's not really, unique, is it? So you don't really feel anything about it. And this one is certainly unique. That's for sure.
Yeah, I quite like it. I think you have to do some drop play at least on one of the corners, and then
Yeah,
maybe
like
also the mid.
the only potential issue is that the corners might be too important. Also, what I generally, I mean, but generally the sad part is about MapGens as well, is that it always spawns you in the corners. It never does some interesting, like, spawns you closer to mid spawn, right? Which for the larger maps is a lot of the time more interesting. I mean, take Badlands for example, right? Where you don't spawn in the corners, but spawning, like, you can get raided behind your main base, something like that.
Yeah, but look at what Otto did. He went first engineer and then next 4 mech marines.
I think the map is just too large for that, but we will see.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you don't have a lot of mass around your spawn, but still, yeah, sending out engineers quick like Slado is pretty important. The start would be a lot easier if they would have spawned in the front slots, because then you can spawn more around you. Now the spawn is just a bit slow. Auto shoots up infinite pigeons with his ASU, which I personally wouldn't have done. I'd say it makes most sense for your ASU to walk to the mid for max location.
I mean, if he walks after building all these pigeons, it's probably fine. Like, you don't need to get there particularly quickly.
That's true, and I guess Slado is already gonna work on his air factory though. I guess also just makes one more pigeon. He's going 9 pigeons before air factory. Slado wins 4, 5, 6, 7. Slado wins 8, yeah.
I think that's fine.
He's not even gonna send the labs to raid the main base. Some of them he's just gonna patrol them next to the sides, but I don't see why. Like, it's just like, sure, maybe, like, I mean, it's not a bad move to do, but it's bad to do this early on, because it's not like there's gonna be a transport out there at minute 3. It's actually gonna be 3:30 because Plado finishes transport.
I think it's like Noob was like, I want to build a bunch of mech marines, and then he did.
Nice. And let's see, I mean, it makes sense for Slado to drop south, but he actually isn't. I mean, for me, naturally, that's maybe not true. You can go both ways without these red mountain blobs are placed.
Alright, no, he changed his drop location because it was previously going to be right on top of this mech marine.
Stream sniping!
He's looked into the future and watched the stream after the delay. How could he? Oh, but he'll spot the mech marine. The mech marine won't spot him.
He also spots the transports from Auto, and Auto is actually gonna drop 1 engineer in mid, I assume, and also going to drop the left sides. Which does make more sense. Well, not too much, but I think very slightly it makes more sense for bottom left to expand to top left, and vice versa for the other sides. He drops 3 engineers in mid, and he splits because it got scouted. There's no bomber, and he makes the factory before the mechs as well. So Auto is playing it incredibly safe, but Splato is most likely gonna win this top left expansion fights.
Yeah, I mean, this is just too slow. It's 3 versus 5, and the 5 got a head start. Maybe if they just build a PD and sort of hang out.
As long as he has intel, he can just rush like a factory in a PD on this 3max expansion. But having the intel is plainly important, and he still doesn't. Okay, now he has it. He has a scout. He is power stalling badly, because he only has 15 PGens. I guess he has. No, he only has 1 Hydro as well. He definitely underbuilt power. He's floating full storage and mass. And Zesu is still in his base. Splato, same thing. I guess it's just a meeting where I like to move out early, but it's not necessarily bad. Splato has way more power though, and gonna drop the bottom right again. Yeah, I feel like the map maybe. Nah, I don't think it's gonna be instantly decided. Also, Splato missed the 3 engineers drop on the left side, which is good for Otto. And Otto does have a bomber and a mech marine on the right side. The 2 labs that he rushed, that he sent to the middle, are still just chilling there.
They've done nothing.
This is what I was talking about. Like, making labs fine, but making them that early on is gonna delay your builds by quite a bit. He got look at that UAF bomber, by the way, overshooting by like a mile on the right side.
Even close.
The mountain is just that big. And then he just moves the bomb. Oh, he saves the bomber actually. Then that was fine micro.
And he scouts the drop. He doesn't have any response, but he scouted it.
I mean, he does still have the lab on patrol. Maybe he can use that finally.
It's so far away.
He has a counter transport, but well, that's so high up in the air, these mountains. It's 5 engineers versus 4, but again, there's a head start for Slato. Slato just spotted the transport as well, and he has some reinforcement tanks. This seems kind of fucked for Otto if he doesn't do anything soon. Otto is now the one getting mech marines at the front. Although Otto did secure the mid for Maxes and is raiding with that, so there he has something.
I love these mech marines. They're just so annoying.
Well, yeah, it's kind of what mech marines are focused on.
Yeah, but Sato just made a bunch of them and was like, "Yeah, here we go. We'll find the damage wherever we go. We'll get the job done."
But this drop on the right side from Otto is really working out. There's mech marines almost in his main base. Is use idle? Don't like that.
Yeah, Slato is getting set up pretty nicely on both sides of, well, both corners, I guess. Oddnoob does have the middle, but that's not as important.
What's important to note is that Slato is very behind on power. He is on 34 PGens compared to the 47 from Otto. Although Otto just started starting 60 mass per second, so, you know, not that.
I like this T2 radar upgrade.
It's actually very similar, because a lot of the maxes Slato has not grabbed yet. Takes to radar.
No, never mind. It had the thing. I don't know. Do radars display the bar underneath them when turning on and off now? Is that the thing I missed?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Alright, never mind. What is Otto gonna do?
Well, I was about to say, I would like him. The most obvious option is to rush tech to air to try at least win one of the sides with tech to air support. Which is very important because there's also quite a bit of reclaim on these ice maps generally. Like there was like 20, there's still 20k mass. It's spread out quite a bit, so it's not very quick to scoop it up. But there's one radar north of Slato's air. Like 5 tanks have walked past that so far. They're just out of range. Somehow
oh yeah, I found it.
Every single tank.
I mean, that's giving some good intel. But also, critically, yeah. Slato is crushing Otto's proxy on the left side.
Yeah, I mean, there's double the factories almost, and he had the head start as well. And that's why the Tech 2 rush was extremely crucial. But it's kinda arrived too slow, I think. He did make, like, automate some Tech 2 max as well, only 2 so far, so you can't really say that. But when you're in it, that's why I, when you walk SU to prevent to be in a position like this. If his SU was in one of the two sides, it would be way more human. If his SU went to the top left, this proxy would survive. Of course, it's more dangerous to use your SU, but it's still, you're quite close to your side of the map, and I wouldn't say it's worth. That's not worth doing.
Yes, Dragon has corrected me. It does the bar for when it's turning back on now. My ignorance has been exposed. But, the bottom right is actually pretty chill, though. Like, nothing is really going on there. Slido's just getting the whole thing more or less for free. Although this PD on the left has 21 kills.
Holy shit. It's full HP as well.
It is living its best life.
Oh my god, that PD is single-handedly carrying the game. So there's Janus being made now, which kinda makes sense considering he doesn't have air, but it's also way harder to like stingers are way easier to control. Low numbers like these especially.
Yeah, I think you're right, but also the mean potential of Janus.
I mean, it's not really mean potential, it's just a good unit.
Yeah, it is just a good unit these days.
Yeah, the issue is that, first of all, considering he's using them on the left side, you kind of want to not kill the reclaim, because making them kind of means that you want to win that side. Also, it's just, if armies are being split and touched against the Janus, then the DPS is so much lower than what it could be. Although if it's shift G'd, like Slado just did, then it's pretty good.
Just delete the whole army. And the PD is still going. It's up to 32 kills.
Are you joking me? But that's why, like, in situations like this, I prefer having a few stingers. Nice as Janus, the shots on the left side, going into the off map even. They completely bugged out. Dude, the PD died!
No!
And now
That's
the
so
Janus
sad.
are gonna kill all the reclaim. Well, I guess if Slaughter would have gotten it, otherwise it's good, but...
I mean, Slido's spending a lot of mass on this whole operation.
Yeah, but he also has Tech to HQ there and is making flex. And Otto does have intel on it, but I guess he doesn't...
Otto just concedes on the spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even a GG. He's just done. But I can't blame him too much. He's in a pretty bad position.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, excuse me, he was only 1k score behind.
He's 1k scored behind, but like...
I know.
Slido's gonna capitalize on his map position real fast, and it's very difficult to snipe Slido's ACU. It's all the way in his base. He's got a shield.
I think those labs kind of fucked him up. Because you just lower your your expansion at the start by a lot. And he did not accomplish nothing, basically.
Yep, he didn't really accomplish anything. It's very sad.
Well, even though this is a bit of a drop map, it's not that big of a drop map, I'd say. Not compared to others. You can still, like, there's not one spot where you have to drop. Like, let's say on point of reach, like you have to secure like the 4 max locations, right? But here it's like, oh, you didn't, like on the top left, he didn't manage to drop like the good spots where Slider dropped, but he still managed to